Welcome back guys to another Odyssey video. In this video I will show you the best early game items you can get right after starting to play this game. This will be an absolute crazy guide, especially for new players, because these items will make it tremendously easier to play this game and enjoy this game on a complete new level. All these items can be collected immediately after completing Kefalonia. You can go there directly and get them. Some of them are even able to be collected at Kefalonia. Some of the earliest items you will get in this game is right when you jump down your house in Kefalonia, because at that point, if you connected your game to Ubisoft Club, you will be rewarded with all those Ubisoft Club rewards. And under those club rewards are two really amazing sets, which is the Ezio set and the Northern Traveler set. The Ezio set itself is one of the best assassin sets in the game, and it can carry you through the entire game if you want to. And the Northern Traveler set is also unlocking the Ares Madness cooldown reset and also has 4 stats instead of only the regular 3 stats on all its items. But if you combine both sets and ignore the set bonuses, which are really weak and you can't get at early game levels anyway, then you will get an even better set, which will create one of the best free-to-play early game builds you can make. So if you are a free-to-play player, then definitely check out the early game build, which I have linked you in the description. The next thing you will unlock is Korfu Island. After you have spoken to Stentor and Megaris, you can travel back to Kefalonia and there will be a purple quest marker which will unlock the Korfu Island questline. You can safely ignore the warnings because there won't be any story spoilers anyway. The whole island only consists of level 12 enemies, so it is really meant to go there first. The first thing you have to do here is to get your clothes from the cave so that you can explore the whole island. In Korfu Island you will unlock some of the most amazing items in the game, especially the second sight bow. The second sight bow is a secret item that can be found in the pirate warehouse. It comes with an amazing plus 200% headshot damage engraving, but it also lowers your assassin and warrior damage, so be careful when you use it. It is the absolute craziest low level item if you want to make the best hunter build. Another crazy item you will also get on Korfu Island is the Knife of Dalvon, which you can get right after breaking out of the prison. This item guarantees you to assassinate every enemy that is below the item's level. So if you keep your Knife of Dalvon upgraded to the maximum level, you will always be able to assassinate everyone that is below the item's level. However, this is very costly, so be careful not to drain all your resources for it. Another very underrated item you will also get on Korfu Island are the resort shoulder pads. You will get this item automatically when you continue playing the Korfu Island story. While they will look completely normal at you first, they are definitely not, because this is the only torso in the game which has the ignore half damage stat on a torso piece, and that can be very useful if you want to make a complete tank build later on. So make sure that you don't dismantle this item once you get it. There are 2 other amazing engravings you can unlock on Korfu Island. First and foremost, the Champion Ostraka, which can be found on the Collidi farm, and the solution for that riddle is in the northeastern part of the map. This engraving will give you 200% additional base damage for all 3 damage types, Hunter, Warrior and Assassin, instead of the written 100%, which is double as much as it actually states. And you can make that even 300% if you unlock the damage conversion in Atlantis later on. But there is another amazing engraving which is unlocked by the Captain and the Cyclops Ostraka. You can find the riddle in a bandit camp, and the solution for it is in Aleos village when you interact with the big pot. This engraving gives you another 100% headshot damage, and if you combine it with the second sight bow and the Champion Ostraka, your build will be absolutely shredding anything already. But you can make this even better when you unlock the Blade of Yumminess. The Blade of Yumminess will give you 250% additional base damage, but you cannot use your abilities. And since your abilities are very weak on early levels anyway, this is an amazing early game item. However, it will lose much of its power later on. To get the Blade of Yumminess, you have to reload the blacksmiths. The cost of this item will scale with your level. If you are at level 10, it will only cost you around 12,000 drachme. And in order to get this amount of money, you can simply farm the weapon racks in Arcaia. There's a quest called Patrai Wall Run, which will refill the weapon racks every time you do it. The special thing about this quest is whatever you loot in this region will always be level 42 minimum, so you will sell it for a much higher price than your regular level 10 or 12 items or whatever level you are. So this will give you a lot of money very early on very easily. With only 2 or 3 runs you will have enough money to be able to reload the blacksmith until you get the Blade of Yumminess. Much easier to get is the Sword of Action, which is just lying in a chest in the party not in Athens ready for you to loot it, without any enemy protecting it. This is one of the most amazing swords in the game, because it has weapon damage, with swords, and that is everything you want on your weapons. You always want weapon damage as high as possible, and this is a free early game item which has this stat. The Sword of Action is even used in late game builds beyond level 50, so make sure that you absolutely keep this weapon. Once you have completed the Athens story arc, you get access to an even better sword, which is Hater's Harpe. Hater's Harpe has warrior damage, damages swords, and critical damage, which are the 3 perfect stats you can have on a sword or on any perfect weapon. It is always about warrior damage, weapon damage, and critical damage. Just make sure that you lie to Hater to keep the sword at the end of the quest. A similarly perfect weapon is the Boeotian Rhapsody, which is a perfect epic blunt. This item can be looted in Boeotia from a temple in the city of Thebes. Try to whistle to lure the enemies away so that you are safely able to loot it. If you like to play with heavy weapons, you should definitely get this weapon as early as you can. There's also a perfect spear which you can get, which is the Harvester of Time. However, this item is a shop item, so it is basically a pay-to-win item. But it has the perfect stats with warrior damage, damage spears, and critical damage, like the other weapons I've just mentioned. So if you are a spear player and if you are willing to spend some money in the store, you can get this weapon and you will have a perfect spear. Sadly, there is no free lootable fixed perfect spear with perfect stats, so this is your only option for spears. But there's a decent replacement, which is the Fox of Olympus. The Fox of Olympus is a legendary spear that comes with a legendary plus 100% damage engraving. This item can be looted from an underwater location northeast of Terra Island. You have to be careful of the sharks, but it can be easily looted even on lower levels. Just travel with your ship there and get it. The Fox of Olympus does not have perfect stats, but the plus 100% damage will totally make up for it. There's one bow you should also definitely take a look at, which is the Oaken Bow of Chambers. When you fully upgrade it, this item will have 50% headshot damage and 50% critical damage, which is basically the same as having 100% critical damage. The Oaken Bow of Chambers can be looted from the tombs of the Daughters of Atlas in Arcadia. You have to tear down a secret wall in that tomb, but it should be really easy to find. The Oaken Bow of Chambers is one of the best conventional bows in the game if you don't want to use the second sight. However, it is still not the best because the Bighorn Bow will completely outshine it. But if you don't have the Bighorn Bow and you don't want to use the second sight, then the Oaken Bow of Chambers is definitely a viable option. A perfect torso piece can also be found from the Brothers Seduction quest in Corinthia. Make sure that you get the expensive armor when you have the option to do that, because you should keep the expensive armor for yourself and just give away the bad one at the funeral. When you do everything right, you will be awarded with Diocles armor as a quest reward, which has warrior damage, all damage, and critical damage. And of course, the absolute best item you can get early on is and will always be the Bighorn Bow. The Bighorn Bow will add all its DPS to your left melee weapon, so once you unlock your left melee weapon slot at level 15, this item is an absolutely must-have in every build you play with. It will instantly double your warrior damage, and it will also use your warrior damage for shooting arrows, which will give you up to 4 times the damage for your arrows than before, which is absolutely amazing. The effect of the Bighorn Bow will scale with your level, so it doesn't give you 1,000,000 damage instantly. If you deal 1000 damage, you will deal 1600 with the Bighorn Bow. If you deal 10,000, you will get 16,000, and if you deal 10 million, you will get 16 million damage. So you still have to make a good build to get the most out of this weapon. The Bighorn Bow is a store item, but you can easily get this with your 200 free credits, which you get when you arrive in Focus. Once you completed the Mega Restory arc and you set your foot on Focus, you will immediately be awarded with 200 free credits, which you should instantly use to buy the Bighorn Bow. So make sure that you don't waste your credits for some stupid items, get the Bighorn Bow as soon as you can, and then you can use the rest of your credits for something else. I don't want to extend this list any further because these are all the most powerful items you can get at level 20 and below. Of course, there are even more powerful items you can unlock later in the game, so if you want to check out these, make sure to watch the other best weapons videos or the unique items guides. I will also link that for you in the description as well. I hope you really liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave me a like, and see you next time.